The Annexation of Crimea by Camille. It began as a small dispute over a trade agreement, but later turned out to be one of the most violent conflicts in Europe. Problems in Ukraine began in November 2013 when Ukrainian President Yanukovych delayed his negotiations with the European Union in forming a trade deal. This caused thousands to protest in the streets. Then, on February 20th, 2014, the situation gets worse. A gunfight starts between protesters and the police in Maidan Square, leaving many dead. This began the start of the Ukrainian Revolution, a series of protests and violent events that took place in Kiev, Ukraine. About 2 days after the gunfight, Yanukovych flees Kiev. In the next week, Russian troops enter Crimea, a Ukrainian territory with strong Russian ties, and on March 14th, Russia completes its annexation of Crimea in a referendum that Ukraine and many other countries believe to be illegitimate. There are many reasons why Russia annexed Crimea. One reason has to do with the fact that there are many Russians that were currently living in Crimea. According to ukrcensus.gov, in the census of 2001, it was reported that more than 60% of Crimea's population were Russian native speakers. It was also reported that 58% of Crimea's population were ethnic Russians. According to Financial Times, Olga Timofeeva, a local pro-Russia activist, expressed the views of many living in Crimea. She said it was the most cherished dream of Sevastopol's residents for the city to return to Russian territory. She also stated that being without Russia for us is like being homeless. Russia didn't annex Crimea just so they could reunite more Russians into their mother country. One of the very important reasons why Russia wanted Crimea has to do with Crimea's location and strategic position. Crimea occupies the land making up the Crimean Peninsula as it juts out into the Black Sea. Crimea's coastline is rugged and made out of several bays and harbors. Because of its vantage strategic location, many countries have been fighting for the territory of Crimea. However, towards the latter part of the 18th century, Russia annexed Crimea and established a naval base for its Black Sea fleet in the port of Sevastopol. This Russian control did not last long because in 1954 Crimea was named Ukrainian territory. But even though Crimea was no longer Russian territory, the Black Sea Fleet continued to be key for Russia's naval force. And now that Crimea is back under the Russian control, Russia can finally take advantage of their naval base and strategic position in the peninsula. Crimea offers Russia something that it really lacks: access to the sea. Russia is a landlocked state, so Russia's capacity to reach the sea is limited by its geography. This makes ports leading to greater waters very crucial. Crimea ports are very advantageous to Russia since they can be used as a base for naval power. This prompted Russia to establish their naval base for their Black Sea Fleet in the port of Sevastopol. Sevastopol is perfect for this Russian naval base because of its strategic positioning and location. The city has a large, deep, defensible harbor and is located almost in the middle of the Black Sea, which offers an easy jumping-off point to launch power in all directions. Because of its geographical location and landforms, Sevastopol has been very successful in projecting Russia's naval power globally. The Black Sea Fleet placed in Sevastopol has helped Russia defeat Georgia in the South Ossetia War in 2008 and was very actively engaged with Vietnam, Syria, and Venezuela. In addition to this, the port provides quick access to the Eastern Mediterranean, Balkans, and Middle East, which is very critical to the Russian Navy. Today, the Sevastopol naval base remains crucial in maintaining Russian security and important to Russia in maintaining its vision of itself as a great power. Crimea also offers a wide variety of natural resources to Russia. It has vast offshore oil and gas resources in the Black Sea, estimated to be worth trillions of dollars. According to the New York Times, some petroleum analysts from major oil companies say its potential may rival that of the North Sea. William Ryan, a marine geologist at Columbia University, says Russia's Black Sea acquisition gave it what are potentially the best of that body's deep oil reserves. It is clear that Putin's annexation of Crimea was also driven by its abundant energy and gas.